Now, let's talk a little bit about Prince Harry. He is in London, but there will be no family reunion with King Charles rejecting a meeting with his prodigal son. He's too busy to catch up. What do you make of this, Darren? They were both out and about in London, but not couldn't spare 5 minutes to have a coffee?
I think it shows the extent to which that relationship has been severely damaged. You know, they used to be really rather close indeed. In fact, the roles were reversed. You know, he was closer to Prince Harry than Prince William. Now, what I would say to this is, one, on a human level, dare I say, I find it quite sad. Yes, Rita, you'll be surprised to learn I do have a heart. But on a purely, you know, if we look at it on a level of analysing the individuals at play here, Prince Harry is over here to promote the Invictus Games. It's a great initiative, and you know, I don't for one second doubt that. But what I would say is, if you've got time to go over to Nigeria and have a Nigerian wax lyrical about how Meghan Markle supposedly has ancient links to that land, and you're talking about how she's a warrior princess, you've got time to do all of these things, but not to meet your father who has cancer. I mean, that to me suggests something really, really quite awful here. You know, they used to be close. Your father, I hope the king is well, but you know, we have
Darren,
absolutely no understanding of that.
I think it's the King who's rejecting this meeting. That's certainly what the Sussex PR machine put out. They're the ones who let the world know that a meeting wasn't going to happen. They put out a statement saying that the King was too busy, and the Duke understands that his father's diary is full. But what's been interesting there, that Jacqueline Magnay reports in The Australian, that as soon as that statement was released, it was counterproductive for Prince Harry, because the talkback lines and readers' comments on newspapers were all full of support for Charles distancing himself from Prince Harry. So it shows you that not only is the King reluctant to forgive Harry, but the British public are in no mood to forgive him either.
Oh, undoubtedly true. I mean, the problem here is that he can't be trusted, right? It was private conversations, it was private encounters that he reported within his book Spare. You know, how can the king possibly meet him and risk finding out in the press that it's been reported what kind of cancer His Majesty has? There could be a whole slew of things. You know, he was really quite vicious about the Queen Consort Camilla. There were so many ways in which Prince Harry overstepped the mark in order to make a couple of quid here and there. Well, more than a couple of quid. He made millions from the advance payment of that boot, let's be honest, and probably millions more since. So I don't think there is any way that His Majesty the King could be safe in the knowledge that any private encounter with his son during this period of illness wouldn't be reported to the press and used as a trinket to actually gain a few more million quid. And isn't that a sad state of affairs, that you can't trust your own child not to sell you out, to rat you out to the press about deeply private matters? It's like having a sort of a microphone with you all the time in the form of your own flesh and blood. How tragic, how betraying must that feel? It's a deeply sad and emotive state of affairs, and I think the nation feels the king's anguish here. The nation understands the torment and the pain that must have been caused, especially for, you know, our late and great Queen Elizabeth II, whose husband died with press reports assuming that he could be a royal racist. You know, these sort of things just go to the very heart of why both His Majesty the King and the British nation feels completely heartbroken by what a once loved prince has actually done to them and their monarch.